rolling. So we're obviously not live, but we're going uncut at least. So we're in the middle of nowhere.
That's
Nebraska.
a lot of pressure.
It's what? That's a lot of pressure?
Yeah.
Oh, because we're live like this?
Because we're going uncut.
So you guys submitted the questions. I have not looked at these. I just opened them. I'm gonna pass these over to Kels. And fire away.
Oh my god.
What? I can't look at it.
No, just look at who asked that question and what they said.
Oh my gosh. So weird. Anyways. Obviously not gonna have that one. So we're en route from Alabama to Salt Lake City, Utah for the USA BMX Nationals this weekend. And this is the big road trip we got going on. We're doing a big ass loop all the way around the country, kinda. We're kinda all the way around the country. We're going through Nebraska. Next state is Wyoming. We're actually gonna tick off like 19 or 20 states we're gonna drive through on this trip.
I think it's 20 because we're gonna hit Colorado.
True, we didn't count that one. So we're just gonna detour just to make sure we get a shot of the sign so we have proof. But we're going Salt Lake City for the National, South Jordan BMX, Rad Canyon BMX. Then we're off to Boise for a week. Then next weekend we're gonna hit Bend, Oregon, do some mountain bike riding. We're gonna then go south to California. We're gonna hit San Fran because neither of us have ever been to San Francisco. And then go to Southern California. We'll be there for a week, get some tattoos, see everybody, catch up, do some riding, and then we're gonna head back home across the bottom of the country through Texas and do clinics along the way. So, yep. Let's get to it. Fire away. First question.
Wait.
Not prepared. They're waiting.
Okay.
They're sitting here.
Well, you have to. Okay. Who is the most inspiring person in your life?
The most inspiring person in my life.
Yeah. Who are you inspired by the most?
I don't know. Right.
You're your own inspiration.
Well, I have my own goals, and I think I have so many goals. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know I am all over the place. I don't stick with one focus, which is good and bad. It obviously makes me who I am, but at the same time, it's like jack of all trades, master of none.
I feel like I feel like there's the people in your life that we're close with, you can't relate to in like life goals.
You're right.
So it's like it's hard to be inspired by people hard to be inspired by people in your life if you can't relate with them.
True. Like I can relate on a friendship level, but yeah, ever since leaving Southern California, I'm definitely not surrounded by people with the same goals and stuff as me. But, with that being said, I wouldn't say there's anybody in particular that I'm inspired by, but I do see things on social media. There's athletes that live a life that I like to, that I would like to kind of use as guidance, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
Like YouTube channels that do cool yard builds, like Matt Jones, for example. He does a lot of YouTube videos around like building his yard, and that's like something I'm passionate about, is building and showing how to build bike features and my DIY stuff, or not DIY stuff, my how to bike skills videos. Like, so someone like him, I really like watching his videos, and I obviously want to grow my YouTube channel in a way, not just to, hey, look at my life, but in a way that I can share my life with everyone, and also provide guidance in some kind of way, whether it's tech tips on the bike and stuff like that. So yeah, that answer is so broad, it's hard to kind of pinpoint one.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, next.
So I don't have an inspiration. Next.
You're, inspiration to give a guidance, like you providing for my family and having an awesome life for the three of us.
Oh, I wasn't saying that as me.
Okay. Well, that's kind of like what drives me in so many ways too, because I want to provide a rad life for the three of us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everything is guided around a better life for the three of us, and making sure. So
that's more like a motivation.
Yeah, more like motivation. You're right.
What's your best accomplishment since Vet Pro?
In Vet Pro? Since Vet Pro?
So like since starting Vet Pro, what is your best accomplishment?
I would say my biggest accomplishment is just from the messages and engagement I get, how much I seem to have inspired so many either kids and guys in my age bracket.
Yeah.
I get the amount of messages that I get, like, you inspired me to come back, or I stopped racing for X amount of years, whatever.
The best accomplishment has just been like starting again.
Yeah, that would be it. I mean, I got a couple wins and podium, but it's like, I mean, it's cool, you know, I want to win and I want to give it a good shot for the overall title, but it's honestly been more about like providing content for you guys and being, yeah, I don't know, that would probably be my, I don't know how to put that in words, but yeah, the inspiration that I've put on others has been probably my biggest achievement yet so far.
Yeah, like the feedback this year, since you starting like the whole brands prep thing, the feedback has been astronomical.
Yeah, when I didn't even plan to race BMX this year, like I'm racing because of the feedback I've gotten from you guys after Grands last year, and it's got me so hyped up, and now it's like the best decision I've made. Which I don't not like. It doesn't mean I'm gonna stop my mountain bike stuff. It's just luckily USA BMX is putting on these races, and you guys are stoked to see me. And
can you imagine what we would have done? Good. Like what this year would have been like if you weren't racing?
Yeah, I know. But I mean, everything happens for a reason, and everything just funneled in this direction of me racing again, which is like this has been like one of my best years of my entire career. You know, like mentally, physically. Like financially on the bike, result wise, even though yes it is vet, but the results don't matter, but it's like mentally, God, I'm in such a better place than I've ever been. I've just been really enjoying my time again, like I was 20 years old. Yeah,
like you seem, I've noticed, granted I didn't know you before when you were racing, but you seem very like content every time, like even if like you don't get the results that you want, like you're always like, you're just really content.
Yeah.
Someone asked, what is something you do before you go up for staging? It's always the same. I go and find you with the camera. We talk about like what happened. I feel like, do we do it? Oh no, we do it before the main, as we pull down some of this pit setup.
Yeah.
But like we usually go back to the tent, talk to the people in the tent. Like we usually have like Joris and James Palmer and Anthony Ricardo and sometimes Cam Larson, sometimes Nick Long will be there. We kind of talk to everybody about the main, and I film you.
I assume they probably mean like my preparation
before you go up for staging.
Yeah, staging before like a moto, you know?
Oh!
Yeah, before like staging, as in like staging is when everyone's hanging out behind the starting.
Oh, I just jumped into that answer like, no, it was mine.
I was definitely thinking like, I think you're thinking that a different way, which is fine too.
Yeah, I thought staging
the way you were saying is still things we do is the process, but my process now is much different from when I was racing elite full time, but I mean, you get out of the tent, you try to stay off your feet. I'm the worst about staying off my feet and relaxing. I'm always doing something at the races. But just getting up, going for a pedal, doing a couple like activation sprints, and really kind of getting everything fired, like as in like muscles, getting your muscles fired up. But
you really don't go right around that long. I
don't do it. That's what I'm saying. I used to do that. I don't do that near as much anymore with that.
We just get caught up talking to people.
But when it comes to the mains, I always give a good warm-up routine, but it's nothing crazy, honestly. Like other guys do a lot more than I do. Next.
What downfall led to your greatest moment?
Downfall led to my greatest moment.
I know the answer, but you should just.
As I would say, greatest moment is I don't really want to dive into that or tackle it, but like my greatest moment would be honestly just life right now, present life, and leaving California, kind of getting out of a situation that I was in, and I mean everything happens for a reason. I mean I'm sure all parties are in much better place, but
for the billionth time, will you be racing at Utah Nationals?
Will I be racing? Well, we've been.
No, we're just gonna go drive there to watch.
Yeah.
We are not interested in racing.
Guys, the amount of messages we got, like, are you racing Salt Lake? Like, no, we're driving across the country to Salt Lake just to hang out and kick it.
26 hours just to say what's up.
We've gone to all the other pro races of the year, but we're just gonna hang out on this one. We might not even go to the track. We might just go ride at Pike Parks or something.
Yeah, we could just watch the live.
Go on a nice hike.
Or yeah, screw in front of my parking lot.
We are racing Salt Lake City, and we are en route.
Do you think your kid will do BMX?
I mean, I hope. Whether she does or not, that's cool. Yes, I have always dreamed of having a kid to race BMX, and the way she is going, I don't think we have a choice. This girl goes crazy over bikes riding by. I do sprints, and she just like jumps in the stroller. We take her, I'll put her on my shoulders out at the track, and she watches like other riders. She goes crazy.
She'll be like half asleep, and she sees you pull out a bike, or even like your motorcycle, the quad, the ATV, and she just like bing, like I'm going for a ride.
It's so crazy. I mean, obviously we've thrown her in the deep end with it. I mean, she was in Kelsey's belly hearing the gate start. Like Kelsey
she was like a couple days old.
Yeah. I mean, Kelsey was running gates for me at 8.5, 9 months pregnant.
Barry was getting me to do sprints at 7 months.
And then after she was born, we were straight back to BMX track training. She was like a newborn, a week or two old, and just chilling in her crib, in her stroller, like sleeping while we're doing gates. So
yeah.
She literally, when we're at races, like I know we put it in the video some, but she literally hears the announcer at the races, and she hears the beep beep, because the gate's coming up, and she gets so excited and starts jumping, gets so alert, like
she loves it.
Yeah, she thrives on just the atmosphere at the races, and it's pretty.
Which is awesome.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Awesome.
Like
so
I would
cool.
be a wreck if I had to put up with her being miserable and us going to these things.
Yeah.
Same thing with traveling. Like she's so good traveling that I can't even picture what it would be like.
Yeah, she's just chilling. We're driving across country. We've been driving her a day and a half. She's just back in her seat right now watching TV.
Watching her show.
Yeah, watching her show. But
Olympic medal or rainbow jersey? That's a good one.
Honestly, for me, if I look back, I actually look back at things like this and desires and goals throughout my career. I would say rainbow jersey.
Yeah.
Because not to take anything away from Olympics, but I grew up in an era of, we always had the rainbow jersey. You know, I won world championships when I was an amateur. You don't run the stripes, or you don't get the stripes or anything when you're amateur. A lot of kids want to argue that and put it on their number plates and stuff like that. I couldn't disagree with that anymore. You earn the stripes when you get into the pro ranks. I'm sorry if anyone disagrees with that. But anyways, yeah, growing up and seeing that, I always really wanted a rainbow jersey. It's such a cool achievement. Yeah, just to have, you get that world championship, you know, it's pretty easy, or it's pretty self-explanatory. But with Olympics, as awesome as Olympics is, I never really watched Olympics as a kid, so I don't put that on a pedestal as much as I put other things. Like when I was growing up, my X Games was a thing. Like when I made it to X Games in 2019, that was my Olympic achievement, you know, like.
Yeah.
So I just had different goals as a kid. So Connor Fields, for example, Connor was a young kid growing up. He wanted to be an Olympic medalist. That was his goal. That was like his childhood goal, and he achieved that, which is huge. And that's so awesome. Yeah, it's massive. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's a Olympic gold medal. That's incredible. But when I was a kid, mine was X Games, an X Games medal. So that's where the difference was. Like, not saying one is or not saying one is better than the other one. That's just where my goals lied.
Yeah.
And I know I went years of chasing making that Olympic team, and I came so close twice. But I look back now and I know, like, I didn't make it because that wasn't my true passion, you know? Like,
yeah.
The guys who made it,
was
like,
almost a standard. Like, you felt like you had to.
Yeah, exactly. It was so surrounded by me, my lifestyle in the moment, and people I lived with. I'm so surrounded by it. It's just going to the Olympics is just what we did.
Yeah.
But I was always such a different athlete than any of my surroundings, you know. And
like you had a passion on the back burner.
yeah, exactly. I had all these other things I wanted to just experience. So, but I always felt like I had to be trained. So I would get so down on myself when I wouldn't do good at World Cups and this and that. But really, I kind of gotten to the stage I always dreamed of as a kid, you know, because I never. Yeah, I don't know. That's like a whole. That's a whole nother deep can of worms.
That was such a cool moment, like knowing how bad that, like, you talking about how you watched it growing up and like that was your goal, like over something like the Olympics or like a rainbow jersey.
Yeah.
So like when you got that email, that was a really cool moment.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Yeah, it happened so. I do, but it happened so fast, and it was right in the middle of us like deciding we wanted to move out of California and move across the country, and
we had so
the timing
much,
was awful.
We had so much like negativity going on, so that was like a little light, which was really cool. Like it was just like one of those things, like it doesn't matter what kind of headspace you're in, that like good things happen to good people.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
we can save more of that, because I could go for hours on that whole conversation about.
Oh my god, I know.
Yeah, but I'll leave that to you guys. What you want to hear? We'll save that for another.
That was a
video.
Someone asked, what is your least favorite thing about BMX?
Least favorite thing about BMX is probably the direction of the tracks nowadays. Tracks, I think we hit our peak of like gnarly tracks back in like 2011 to 2013 time frame, especially right around London test event for Olympics. I think was the gnarliest. No, not saying the gnarliest track, but like the most fun technical track. And still to this day, it was one of the best World Cup main events ever. The lead changed like 4 times, which is very rare in BMX tracks. I think as much as I love BMX, I love that in this global pandemic, like we're still racing and races are bigger than ever. But I don't like the direction of the track. I think
technological.
Yeah. How technical the tracks are is kind of going backwards. Like we're racing these super, like Olympics, we have a 5-meter starting hill for a track that's like not much bigger than an ADA track. It's not really needed.
Why do you think that is?
I think tracks are going backwards because a simpler track is easy to make, easy to build, less budget, less maintenance. You have 2 straightaways for a pro section. That's more maintenance. That's more chances of people getting hurt. More people crashing, getting hurt means more delays at races. So I think tracks are just getting simpler, because it's kind of like the participation award. You know, like Supercross, the first jumps are turning into tabletop, so it's friendly for everyone, which is cool for training. But I don't think it should really be raced on. I don't know. It's hard. Like, I do know. I know where my head's at. My head is at with it. I don't agree with so many things, but at the same time, I understand from a business side why they're doing it. I mean, the races are massive, so if these tracks are technical and big and gnarly, then there's going to be more chances of crashes, and crashes cause delays, and you can't really have a delay in today's BMX racing. So that's the only thing. And I have so many opinions on that, and like how nationals should be smaller, but yeah. Again, that's another conversation to answer another question.
Are you going to be watching the Olympics?
The quarterfinals are tonight in just a couple hours. We're obviously on the road, but I'll be watching like anyone else. Still a fan.
Who do you think is going to take gold at the Olympics for men and women?
I like to say Elise for women, just because she's put in the work. Yeah, I mean, God, look at her. I mean,
oh, look, there's a coyote. Did you see it?
I did not. Men.
Joris.
I would like to say Joris. Yeah. And I don't want to say that like hesitating. Like I doubt his ability. I know he can, but I more say that because I haven't really been following the World Cup season. I've seen who's been getting results in the World Cups, but at the same time, all the top athletes in the world aren't there. Not to take anything away from any of those winners or anything. Yeah, I mean, Connor's not always there. Corbin's not. I mean, I take this with a grain of salt.
You know, at the Olympics.
Oh no, at World Cups, you know. So it's
Yeah.
So I don't know, but at the same time, anything can happen. Jarvis has been in the position to do really well at the last 2 Olympics, but he's just had a crash and just things happen. He blew it. Sorry, Jarvis. He blew 2 of them. So 3rd time's a charm. But Jarvis is a buddy. Like I really want to see him do well.
What do you think is going to be the podium for Mets?
I feel like I know this isn't the most entertaining, but my thought are 2 people that are expected to be on the podium and 1 random, like, holy cow, he got on the podium. But I haven't quite pinpointed who that's going to be. I say that because I haven't really been following as much as I should have been following other races. So I think after, I could definitely see Sylvain. I think I say it different every time.
I think so too.
Sorry, Sylvain. It's French. Yeah, I could definitely see him on the podium, no doubt. But there's a few people. He wouldn't be a guy that I'm like surprised. Like,
yeah,
it'd be cool to see him, and he's a fellow dad, so it'd be cool to see a couple dads on the podium for sure. Dad life.
Who do you think's in a podium on women's?
Elise, for sure. Again, like I haven't been following it.
I think it's gonna be Elise.
I'm looking forward to watching tonight to see who is where, like see where everyone's at. Because even World Cups, like there's been girls do really well that I've like never even heard of.
Like, the Smulders are doing really well.
Yeah.
And I hope Lauren gets on the podium. Lauren.
It'd be cool. It'd be cool to see Lauren. This is Lauren's third Olympics. I've been around Lauren for so many years, so it'd be cool to see her get a result.
I think it'd be cool too for Sam, since he's coaching both Elise and Lauren.
Oh, for sure. And Anthony. Anthony's there too.
Yeah.
Anthony's home. Like, I want to see Anthony do really well, but it's just really hard because I know what it's like to step away from that for a while. That style of racing. Yeah. Anthony's such a powerhouse, but as we get older, I know what it's like to step away from that bar-to-bar racing, and I know Anthony hasn't really been racing for a little bit. Yeah. So I'm curious to see how he performs on that track, because that Anthony's super fast, obviously, but the track's technical, but it's so mellow. It's almost like I can see Anthony going too fast. Not to jinx it at all. I just want to give you guys my thoughts. Yeah, I hate to even say it because I don't want to jinx him, you know, but I don't really believe
You're not jinxing.
I know, I don't believe in that stuff, but it's I would like to see Anthony do good, especially after I know he dealt with some dramas getting on the team, so. Yeah. But I think my opinion will change a lot tonight after I see quarters and see who's doing what. But,
yeah, for sure. Once you see how the riders are performing.
And there's a stress. Like, there's so much stress. I mean, obviously I haven't been to the Olympics, but it's such a big event.
The biggest.
It's the biggest. So it's so easy to put a lot of pressure on yourself.
Right.
Yeah. You know what? All this talk, no one's really mentioned Corbin. Corbin's always like, Corbin's either killing it, untouchable, or...
Isn't that who you lost a spot to?
Well, I didn't lose a spot. Corbin won the Olympic trials going into Rio. I got second behind
That's
Corbin.
what I'm saying. Like, you lost to him.
Corbin got the spot, but even back then, you know, like...
We didn't lose.
That's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, Corbin got it. He obviously definitely deserved that way more than me, but that's years ago.
What do y'all eat all day?
What do y'all eat?
What do y'all eat all day when you're on these long road trips?
Nothing good.
Chick-fil-A, gas station.
Yeah, gas station food. It actually sucks. It's hard being healthy on the road. We try to be smart, but we are so bad for each other too. Like, hey, you want to go to Snickers? Okay. Or you want to get what was that pudding you got? You want to get a banana pudding? Okay,
he's like, yesterday he goes, or the day before, he goes, oh, I'm really craving a milkshake. And I was like, now it's in my head. I need a peach milkshake from Chick-fil-A.
Hey, I think we're about to hit Wyoming. Ask me the next question.
We're in Wyoming.
Did we miss the sign? You're kidding me. I just saw one.
Wait. Oh, no, you're right.
Okay.
You're right.
We've got a clip of every sign.
How did you know that?
I just saw exit 1. I'm like, oh, we're about to hit Wyoming.
Yeah, it's like right here.
All right, next. Look at Jesus over there. Look at that big old statue.
That's not Jesus.
Is it not?
That's Virgin Mary, baby. Or it's somebody. It's not Jesus. It's not Jesus.
All right, while I get this clip, you.
Oh, it's right here, babe.
Yeah.
You want me to get it?
No, next question.
Do you like to drive?
Oh, I love, especially in the Sprinter van. Oh, that's a cool sign.
Wait, we should have stopped there. We should have stopped there and got a photo. That's a perfect one. That's like the
I almost feel like we should turn around. That was a good one. But it was a really silhouetted.
Okay.
Should we?
Well, when we leave.
What about when we get out of... Yeah, we'll do it on the other side of Wyoming.
Yeah.
Because that was a cool sign.
Yeah, that was cool.
Sorry, guys.
Do you like to
Vlog
drive?
life.
Oh yeah, I asked you this one.
I love to drive. I love to drive with a comfort, you know, like I'm such a busybody when I'm at home. It's just go, go, go.
Yeah.
When I'm in the van, it forces me to just switch off and not be distracted by all the stuff I have going on at home.
It's so funny because I used to go on trips with my family and stuff, and I would like think like, how do you not want to jam out? Like, how do you just sit there in silence? And I know it's like once you're a dad and you hit 30 or something, 33, it's just like radio only to level 10, not to level 20.
I'll get in my, even still today, I get in the car with my dad, and I know he rocks. I've gone in his shop and he's just jamming out to some 80s rock, which is sick. I'll listen to it, but like as soon as I'm around him or he's driving, it's just
quiet.
Radio style.
That's how you are too.
I know, and I always wonder like, how does this dude sit here and just drive quiet? When you're sleeping in the back, if she's asleep and you're asleep in the bed, I'll sit here and drive for hours.
And talk to yourself? Remember
no
that one
music,
time I saw you?
yeah.
He thought I was sleeping, and can I tell this?
Yeah.
Are you gonna be embarrassed?
No.
He thought I was sleeping, and I was just watching him in the rearview mirror because like the bed's like pretty high level to that. So I was just watching him, and he's like doing.
Because when she's in the bed, I face the rearview mirror so I can see her in case anything happens or something. I can watch her in the back. So our eyes are like right on each other.
I was watching him. I just woke up and I like was staring at the rearview mirror, and I was watching him, and he was having like a full blown argument with somebody, but not out loud. He was like rehearsing what he was gonna say. I don't know what you were doing, but you were like this. And you're like.
I was just in my own head apparently.
It was so funny. No, you were mad. You were like.
Who knows? I will go in such story mode in my head when I'm about just one thought will just veer off in just the gnarliest direction, and I'll snap out of it like, I just got in a full argument and I hate that person for a second, and I haven't seen that person in months or something. Or like, how dumb.
You picture yourself like running into somebody that you haven't seen in a while, or that you're like not a fan of, and then you go into full story mode and like, what would that situation be like? And like, what would I say?
Yeah.
Or yeah. I feel like everyone can relate to that, like having an argument in the shower to yourself with somebody.
Yeah.
You know, like you think of the.
What we got next? We at 29 minutes.
How do you approach such big companies like Mercedes-Benz about representing them?
Mercedes-Benz actually approached me. No idea how they came across me. I actually got asked to do this. What was it? Concord Zoom. It had a weird name to it.
Zoom.
It was like a what would you say, like a bike show? We have Interbike, or we used to have Interbike, like a convention type thing.
It was like, yeah, I guess it was like an online thing because of COVID, so it was like a Zoom.
It was like a Zoom meeting style online version of like a van convention in a way, and they selected like 8 people.
Yeah.
And it was myself,
B-Man.
NBA player, B-Man, a family that's like traveling Europe, like a family of 4 or 5 they live in a van.
The dog guy.
Yeah, Henry and his dog, who's also now a Mercedes ambassador. This girl that I forget her name, and yeah, we did this Zoom meeting. You know, it was like a live. Yeah, that was like September or October, like right after Willow was born, and yeah, it went really cool. It went really good. We were all live. We're all on this thing together, which is cool. Like, I didn't know who the NBA player was, but like, I knew Wee Man, and Wee Man's like, we're all in a chat, which is really cool. I've never had like any interaction with Wee Man, and so many people I've crossed paths with over the years. I've never crossed paths with him. But yeah, so that was really cool having like a little hangout with Wee Man. And yeah, afterwards I just sent him an email saying thank you. It was really awesome to be a part of it. And you know, when I got the email asking if they sent me a message through Instagram, hey, would you like to be a part of this thing? And my gut feeling just said yes. I mean, I was like, no matter what it is, say yes. This is with Mercedes-Benz. It's just this is my way in. Because
we both just had like really good feelings about it.
Yeah.
It was like, I remember thinking like not much of it, and you were like, I have a really good feeling about this. Like I just want to like, really showcase me as a person in the van, like.
And I've been trying to get in with Mercedes dealerships, because I thought doing something with corporate is like not really in the cards. So I've been trying to get in like with dealerships here and there since the first van I bought years ago. And I really wanted, like, I love the vans. I really wanted to like
look at the life you live. Like, this is a perfect
exactly. I like partnering with people that are really organic to me, and something very, very rare, which I haven't really. There's not really, I won't partner with anyone. It's not something I'm passionate about just to promote the brand. If it's something that I'm truly passionate about and think you guys can benefit by this, or you guys can enjoy this type of lifestyle by purchasing this or whatever, you know. And I had already bought 2 vans. I bought the Mercedes Metris, and then I bought this current Sprinter.
Let me just add on to this, the organicness of your things, because I feel like a lot of people are not.
Alright guys, we're back. The camera actually overheated because it's been in the windshield, and it's
so we have one cut.
100 degrees. So sorry, we said it was uncut. That was one cut.
But to add on to what I was about to say is that, like, when it comes to sponsorships and stuff, a lot of people just do it because something's free or they pay you or whatever. But like, things that you don't see is situations like the other day, someone asked if they could send you something, if you would discuss it online, and he got it and was like, I don't like these, like I can't promote these to the people that follow me. So he's like, no, I can't do it.
So I will give it a try, and like some things I'm like, you know what, I will try this. This was like for some earbuds.
Don't say that.
And well, I already said it, so they don't know what it is.
Yeah, but what if those people like?
But I actually needed earbuds. But that leads into a good story. I've spent my whole, I'm not an earbud kind of guy, because like it doesn't work good. Like they always hurt my ears, and I've just never found anything. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll try it out. Like, if these work, I'll promote them. And
it's a company that I've heard of before, and I was like, oh, it's a good brand. Yeah. Like, you should.
But come to find out, I have small ears, Kelsey told me. We compared them to her AirPods, and they're just too small, or they're too big for my ears. But
well, and then we took a photo of my ear with the earbud in. And then we took a photo of Barry's ear. Yeah. And it's like putting an earbud in Willow's ear. Like, it's, your ears are so
tiny ears. So like, I'm like, all these years I haven't been able to wear earbuds because it hurts my ear, and that's why. My ears are just too small. So
like, truly though, like, it could be a good product, but just like not for you. So how are we supposed to say like?
Yeah, and I can't do that. Yeah,
how can you talk about something? Yeah, and that you're not going to use. Yeah. Anyways, I wasn't even going to bring up that situation.
Yeah, but it was funny. The ear thing's kind of funny. So.
Yeah, I know. But someone asked, "Are you going to have more kids?"
Of course. as she cries. Yeah. No, we decided. We chatted about it for a while.
We actually talked about it before
we decided to get pregnant.
Yeah.
Mutual. Yeah, we won't. I mean, look at the lifestyle we live, you know. And I didn't really want to be any older having a kid. I kind of want to, like, when we decided, I was like, I want to go ahead and do this now because I don't really want to be older than 35 having my first kid, and or our first kid. So we did it, and then like, well, I don't really want to be any closer to 40 for kid number 2. And it's like, she's chilling in the back. We had 2 kids. Eventually, you know, it'd be one in a car seat and one in the seat. And it just gets crowded.
And I did not enjoy the process.
Yeah. So yeah, I just, you know, I feel like we can just spoil her. We can still live the lifestyle we live. We can travel. She can be a little whiny, and she's okay. It makes her tougher. What next? So yeah, 1 kid, 1 and done. I've already put a stop to it, so there's no backing out now.
favorite part about traveling together?
This right now, it's just like traveling together. That's I've been very grateful to be able to provide for my family, and Kelsey doesn't have to have a job, and which she has a job. She's a full-time mom, and she's my manager now. So
I need questions.
Oh yeah, that's why. Get out of that. Make sure you don't hit stop. Just swipe out of that app.
I did.
We might need to check on her. I don't want to pause this, but we might have to pause this to.
Yeah. She's okay.
Or we'll get hated on for being
not crying. She's just making sense. I know what she's doing.
She's whining because she hears your voice up here.
I know.
Come sit with me.
What's your favorite style of riding? Freestyle? BMX?
Favorite style of riding?
All of it.
It's hard, yeah, because I love the freestyle. That's always been a passion since I was a kid. Like that's, to be honest, that's the route I should have put more passion into as a kid, because looking back and what I did the most as a kid and what I enjoyed the most was definitely freestyle. But I didn't really have anything around me to know the right direction, you know, like not making that as an excuse. There's been a lot of big guys come out of small towns, but I had racing right at my fingertips, so it's just what I knew. I built dirt jump. I had property growing up. My parents had property growing up. I could have built a full BMX track, but I decided to build dirt jumps because that's just what I enjoy. But I really enjoy going to the BMX track, riding with my friends. I love going really fast, like racing or not. I love just going pedaling. It's just that feeling of pedaling as fast as I can on my bicycle. You know, like that's a really that's
still
cool.
Tell me that, like you'll be like, I love it.
Like a real high-speed track. I just love just maxing out my legs and just seeing how fast I can go. That's a cool feeling. But going and learning new tricks, and the process of learning new tricks is really fun too. So yeah, I wouldn't change anything because obviously it's got me to where I am now, and I would be, I don't know. God, I don't know. It's hard to say. I just love riding my bike, and I love riding all bikes. You know, I get bored of riding one.
That leads into another question. That's like, how did you know you wanted bike stuff to be your living? Like, when did you know that bike stuff wanted to be a living?
I don't think I ever thought like I want this to be. So I started racing BMX when I was 3 years old. I was just riding a bike around my neighborhood. My dad took me out to the track. That was the late 80s. I raced like twice, and the track shut down. And I just continued to ride. I didn't really know much. I was so young, I didn't really know what the sport even was. Just like, oh yeah, I go to the track and ride my bike. I have very little memory of it. But I would always just, like my cousin would come over, one of my cousins, Chase, he always rode, he had a BMX bike, he would come ride with me. We'd build these little jumps. I always just enjoyed doing that. I watched the movie Rad, typical for every BMXer. You watch the movie Rad, and it's on a VHS tape, and that's the only bike video we had back then. So I just enjoyed to ride, and then I remember when I was 10 years old, I was like an hour and a half north, and my dad heard there was a BMX track nearby, and he said, hey, would you like to go check it out? And I want to say it was like the 1997 or 98 Alabama State Championships. It was a mud race. And we went and watched that, and I was like, I need more. I remember walking down to the concession, and the guy running the track, I remember being very intimidated to ask him. He was like this big, jacked, muscular guy named Tim Smith. I asked him for information about the BMX track, and I was like 10 years old. So I think it gave me like a little flyer or something, and I could hardly read now, so I definitely couldn't read. I didn't know what I was reading back then. I didn't know what. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna take this to my parents. Well, still, Tim is the Tim you met recently that has the off-road truck right by the house. Yeah, so all these years, he was the guy I got information from for how to race BMX, and I still stay in contact with him today.
It's funny.
Reconnected now that we're back in Alabama.
Right. Well, like moving to Alabama, it's crazy how small of a world things are. Like our house, and then on the street over is his off-road shop. Yeah. Like just on the other side.
But yeah, to answer the question though, I don't think it was just like every year I got a little bit deeper into the sport.
I think I've asked you that too. Like, how did you, like, did you even know that you could make a living off of it?
It wasn't like I'm gonna do it. It's just it wasn't like I really want to do this. It's just I'm gonna do this.
It's like, well, I'm not gonna stop, so if it takes me somewhere.
Exactly. It wasn't like, oh man, I really want to. How do I make a living? It was just, that's just what I'm gonna do. You know, I want to be those guys. I'd watch Todd Lyons, Robin Miranda, Brian Foster. Like, I would always watch like the crowd pleasers guys. The guys I would watch in practice, they're doing like 360s and backflips, and I just wanted to be one of those guys. I never thought I want to be the fastest BMXer ever. I want to be on that podium. I just wanted to be the guy who, like, people were stoked to watch ride bikes, you know, and I'm just like, well, I'm just gonna be that guy. Whether it makes money or not, I'm gonna be that guy. And each year it just got better and better. You learn more, you get a different sponsor, or you win a 16 and over pro open race, and you make $100. Like, whoa, I made some money. Like, and it was literally started like, I can get a cell phone now because I'm consistently making this a couple $100 a month.
But your parents are dropping how much money to take you to these races.
Yeah. And I'm like, I make like $200 or I make $100. I'm like, I can get them on cell phone now. I remember when I bought my first car, like, I was winning AA races. So I was like in my 20s, and I had no sponsors were paying me. I was only living off prize money, but I was living at home and stuff. So I'm like, I'm doing pretty well. And like, I'm gonna go I went and bought a brand new Volkswagen GTI, like a little race car hatchback, you know, like $300 a month payments. And I'm like, I can do this. And it just snowballed, like gradually got more and more. I'm like, this is just me. This is what I'm doing. So.
How did you get the name Alabama Slamma and gave it to you?
I don't know, actually. Maybe one of the announcers just said it one day.
And it just stuck? Yeah,
I didn't like it for a while. I wasn't into it. And now it's like, that's who I am. And I think it's because...
Why did you like it?
I think because I keep like spitting.
I think it's because of...
I was wanting to move to California. I don't know. I don't really know. I just didn't. I was putting Alabama behind me in a way, you know? I was young and I'm going to California, and like that was my new life.
Yeah, like you didn't want to be associated, like Alabama wasn't your identity.
Yeah, but like 5 years into moving in California, because I was really itching to leave California years before I actually left. Once I had the opportunity, I was like, this is my sign to leave.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to go back to the South. I wanted the seasons, I wanted the greenery, and now that I'm back, I love Alabama Slammer. Like, that's just who I am. Like, it reminded me why I like Alabama and proud to be where I'm from, you know? And it's just a weird stage in my life where I was growing up and I'm trying to be this different person and be independent, and it was like I was trying to put Alabama behind me for some reason, but I think everybody goes through a weird stage like that.
It's like an identity crisis.
Yeah, exactly. But now, like, love it, you know? Like, I mean, even when I was living there, I got Alabama tattooed on me. I got Bama Love tattooed on my hands, like, just as a little reminder.
Bama Love? I thought it was just Bama.
No, Bama Love on this side.
I've never noticed that.
Well, they've been like lasered.
I didn't know that this said love. I just always assumed that.
Yeah, well, they were done really bad. So I had a buddy that had a laser shop. So I was like, oh, I've always wanted to experience laser tattoo removal. So I was like, oh, I'll laser my hands. Worst case, I can get them like touched up. So now that they're fading, I want to get them redone by Tish, like a better font and everything. That's my first screw up was I didn't let Tish do it. I was just in Alabama with my boys, and I'm like, let's go get tattoos, and
whatever.
Then I got crappy hand tattoos, but I should have just let Tish do some like that ass font.
Yeah.
What next?
We don't really have any good ones left. Favorite bike you've ever owned, childhood to present? Can you even say that?
Well, now, by having a carbon bike is sick.
Oh, okay.
Like, I was just saying my Haro now because it's a carbon race, but I have so much carbon fiber. Like,
is it because it's so light?
It's just cool, you know. It's just the progression of the sport. It's just everything. Parts have come so far. Like, our bikes are like so much carbon. My forks, my brake lever, my rims, my frame. It's like there's so much carbon fiber. I think it's just really racy. I like that real professional.
It's definitely your
look.
style.
Yeah, it's just cool. I like the race style, like F1 stuff. Like, you know, I think companies that go that real race vibe. You know, you have the rough, edgy freestyle side, then you have the race side. I like the real professional, clean lines, cool graphics look.
Yeah. Have you tried tried an oval chain ring on your BMX and you think it would work or be any good?
I never have. I don't know. You know, I think those are.
Oh my god.
I don't know. It's hard to give an opinion because I have zero experience with them. I don't really know how they work or what they're meant to do. But you know what? They're very rare to see. Connor Fields and Joris ain't racing with them, so I don't see a big benefit. And to have an oval chain ring, you gotta have like the hanger to keep your chain. It's just more moving parts. I like to keep my BMX bike as basic as possible. So
that is all just so much different.
Yeah, you know, Kelsey's new to BMX. I want to do another video that's around you. You know, you've only been exposed to BMX for a year. You're deeper. Kelsey follows BMX more than I do nowadays. She watches all the World Cups. She knows more of the female racers than I know. She loves it. It's really cool.
I enjoy watching the females more than the men.
Yeah, and which is cool to see. And now she's like, you're just on the path of being a BMX mom, and I really want to have a talk about that with. I know you got to get the baby, but I really want to chat about that one day and get your thoughts of being new to the BMX world, to really kind of chat with maybe the new BMX moms out there. So
yeah, should we
wrap it up?
Don't look at my butt.
Should we wrap it up on this?
Hold on.
We'll give it a second just in case. But yeah, you know, I think BMX parents need a direction and a guidance out there. Not saying the BMX parents don't give the right guidance, but I think it's really easy for new parents in BMX to give guidance or give direction for newer, like say a parent's been in the sport for a year or two. They're really quick to give someone else guidance that just started racing, and some of it agree with, some of it don't. And I would really like to give advice to new BMX parents from myself, obviously having 25 years in the sport.
Yeah.
And then obviously I help you, like I've fast-tracked you in understanding it.
Well, I feel like I kind of got thrown in the deep end. Like my first ever BMX race was Grants. I never watched you race BMX until Grants.
How much did my mom warn you about Grants?
She tried to scare me so bad.
I don't think she tried to scare you, but she like wanted you to overly be prepared. Like, you don't know what you're getting into.
Like she didn't.
Grants, if you've never been to Grants, it's chaos.
I don't think she was trying to scare me. I think she was just like, she thought that I was expecting like something very minuscule and was very worried on how I would do. Especially I had a 2-month-old baby.
Oh yeah.
Like. Yeah. But I feel like I handled it pretty well.
Oh, you killed it. Like.
But I got thrown into the deep end for sure. I just got thrown into Grants, but I had so much fun.
I feel like it was a lot different. I'll take my mom's side. It was a lot different. The way you and I did it together was a different way of approaching Grants than we have before. Like we parked out back with Nick and his Sprinter, and we kind of like went in there, raced, and just went out the doors.
I definitely think though, now that you had this comeback and you've been like a lot more in the BMX racing scene and you've done like a steady year, I think this Grants will be a lot different than the last one.
Yeah, it could be. But you know, I really liked how our setup last year. We set up outside, and because normally you're inside. You saw the madness of the pits. Like normally we're right in a team pit. You what?
I like it.
Oh, I know, it's cool. It's just, it's very. I think my mom looked at it as a way. It's pretty overwhelming. There's kids always coming to the tent wanting photos and autographs. I definitely did it an easier way for you. And with like COVID happening, we're just, you know what, like. We're just gonna step out of the arena. We'll just have our pit out back. We had like a little fire pit going. We hung out with Nick Long and his wife Lindsay. It was very relaxed, and we kind of got away from all the chaos and what my mom is used to.
Yeah, but it was fun. I mean,
it is fun being in the middle of all of it, though.
Yeah, I like it. I like seeing. Someone asked me on mine, like, what's your favorite part about BMX? And it's like. The events, like the nationals, and seeing all the people and like watching I just love watching you race. It's so fun. I get such bad anxiety though, and I always, not anxiety, I get such bad like nerves, and like my stomach hurts. That's, you know, when you get so nervous, like you have to fart. I will just be like crop dusting everybody because I'm so nervous. I'm like, oh my god, like I'm just so nervous. And then like I try not to be because I'm always like, like, he's gonna pick up on your vibe. If you're so nervous, he's gonna choke. And it's like, you're not gonna choke at a friggin' at the Nashville. Like, you're not gonna, you know?
That makes me think of a question for you. How much different is it from, well, not just for you, because I noticed it as well. So when we met and we started hanging out, I was doing just the freestyle thing, right? So we went to like the Colorado dirt jump event, and then we had X Games.
Yeah.
So you really only knew those freestyle events, and how
like
much different was freestyle events versus, well, you haven't been a mountain bike event really yet, or not like Crankworks or anything obviously, but how much different is the freestyle world compared to the BMX world? It's
like,
crazy.
in what sense? Like,
well, I think it's just so, I mean, everything. I know my opinion. I just want to hear your opinion before I say anything, but it's just such a, like...
So at freestyle events, it's very cliquey. Like, when we go to, like, freestyle...
And keep in mind, these freestyle events, these are something that I've been passionate about for years and years. I always wanted to be a pro dirt jumper, so I finally had my chance to get in these contests. Now you go. So that will lead into what I was gonna say later.
Okay, I feel like you're gonna expect a different answer out of me, but I don't know. The freestyle events were the first things that I've ever been to with you, and I feel like it's very cliquey. Like, the riders, they're all great, they're all super welcoming, everyone's super nice to each other, but like the girlfriends and the people that they bring, and everyone is very cliquey, and it's almost like, who knows, it's almost like when you're around these people, it's like, oh, well, you can almost read it on their faces, like they're with like one of the best ones, so like, I don't got time for you. It's very cliquey, but, and it's not very like family oriented. Plus, I get so nervous, like I get way more nervous watching you do freestyle stuff now than racing. Like, racing, I know you have it in the bag, but since it's like a race, it's like, oh my god, go, 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 you know? But the freestyle stuff, I'm terrified that you're gonna hurt yourself. Like, the first big event I went to was X Games, and you hit your head so hard you didn't know that you were even competing, and I was like, oh my god, like, this is real. Like, this is, I thought this stuff only happened in like football, where they like get concussions, they don't remember anything. Like, I saw how many big gnarly crashes. But going back to it, like, it's not very, like, if you compare the two, BMX racing is so much more family oriented and welcoming and high vibes and fun and happy, and freestyle is just very, like, you're there, you ride, you have your little clique with you, and it's almost like you're in high school again. That's the vibe I get. Yeah. It's like, it's very cliquey, and like, all the girls there, they always seem like they're just trying to one up each other. Like, I don't know, like, I guess it's like a different perspective from, like, it's completely different. There's no comparison. There's obviously women who aren't like that at all, and that I can vibe more with, like Scarlett, Ben's wife. Like, she's not like the typical girlfriends or like the girls that you see hanging around the freestyle people. Like, I like hanging out with her, I can vibe with her. But a lot of the other people, it's almost like it's a, I don't know, but you remember the A1 competition? The girls that were like dressed, it was dressed up like they're going to a club. And it was like, why are you, it's a lot of like, if someone has a monster helmet on, if someone has a monster helmet on, it's like, okay, it's, you attract different people. I don't know. But here, I feel like in the racing scene, like, people don't look at you to and think that, like, oh, Barry thinks he's better, too good to talk to me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, people, it's more. And we're not speaking for everyone, but I completely agree. No, but I can understand. I'm not saying that people are like that, but I can see how some people would think, like, oh, a racer going to a freestyle event, like, you probably would be intimidated to talk to any of the freestyle riders. But I like that people aren't intimidated to talk to you. People treat you like you're just like their neighbor. It's a family. I know for a fact at BMX racing. Yeah. I know for a fact that if something ever happened and I needed help with something, I could go to anybody at the BMX track at a race and say, like, hey, I need your help. Yeah. And they would drop what they're doing and give you the shirt off their back. That's the vibe I get. I agree.
and I don't want to say people are not like that. I guess, I mean, I know so many of the freestyle guys, but I definitely don't know.
The riders are fine.
Yeah, but that's what I'm getting to. Like, I know so many of them, but I don't know their partners or. Yeah. And then we have so many. You meet so many moms and dads at races too. So it's like we don't know them personally enough on a really tight friendship level. Besides, like Benoit, it's obviously Ben and I are really close.
Yeah.
And,
I guess I kind of just like went on.
We don't know them enough, but you're right. I get what you're saying about it.
The vibe is just different.
It's not. Yeah, I always wanted to be there, and once I was there, it was like, this isn't BMX. This isn't a BMX race. You know, I want to do the freestyle thing, and then plus it was a contest, just 2 jumps, and it's not like you're just there. Let's just flow. Like, let's just go ride practice and flow around. Like, you got these 2 jumps, and it wasn't. Obviously, it ended up being great. It qualified me into my first X Games, and yeah, it was just a really different vibe. Being years and years of that family BMX vibe.
Yeah, I think if you go,
it was just different.
I never realized. So I think if you go from racing that environment and then going into the freestyle environment, you'll be like, wow, this isn't like I'm more on a high at a BMX race than I am at a freestyle race. Yeah. But I started out with you doing just the freestyle stuff, so I didn't know. I thought that's just what it is. Like this is just what it is. This is just. Which
is really cool in its own way.
Yeah. Like, it's cool that they have like huge monster setups and they have stages and they have all this kind of like it's really cool. The environment's cool, but going from that to racing, I was like, oh my god, like I don't want to leave the races.
Yeah.
But when leaving freestyle events, I'm like, ooh, that was a long weekend. Let's go home. But leaving races, I'm like, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
Like, I like being here.
Fun. The energy and the vibe is just so different.
It just feels like one big family.
Yeah.
Which is
cool. I mean, yeah. Both are, like I said, both are cool in their own ways. I
guess I went on a ramble, but that's how my brain sees it.
It definitely made me just realize, like, you know, I really love this freestyle stuff, but I want to go to, if I'm going to do a freestyle contest, I want to do it like trails and like we ride, and that 2 jump thing was just not for me. I didn't really enjoy it. Yeah, it was just a weird vibe.
And plus, like, watching, like, the freestyle stuff, man, that was like, what a trip the whole X Games thing was. Did you miss a turn?
Nope.
The X Games thing was prepping for X Games. Like, I went from watching you do flat track to, okay, now you're trying to send all these gnarly tricks all the time, and we moved, and you got an airbag, and it was just like every day our lives were, you go outside and I have the phone and we just replay videos of you just doing tricks. It was like a steady week back to back all day.
I put in so much work for that X Games, and I like
last minute too.
It was so last minute. I obviously didn't get to like showcase all the work I put in, but I mean, I didn't. That was such a pressure too that I didn't know. I imagine like guys, like all the riders that are Olympics at their first time right now. That's how I remember being on that roll, and I'm like, oh, it was such a weird like. Because once it was go time for X Games, like the camera's in your face, the crowd's here, like. And
it's all for the camera.
Yeah,
like, and everything is for the camera.
It was awesome. It was such an amazing experience, but I would love to do it again.
Do you almost feel like it was like a dream?
Almost, yeah.
Like, I remember.
It didn't help that I rocked my head so hard it did feel like a dream. But
yeah, that was crazy. But like,
it was wild.
When they had the camera on you and you're about to go, you're like. Like, what were you doing?
I was just like, you know, I got my little damn twitches and shit.
I know, but you were like doing something for the camera, and I remember watching it back with you. You're like, I didn't even know I did that.
Visualize, who knows? I don't know.
But like,
it was definitely a blur and nerve. That was the highest nerves I've ever been in X Games, and I didn't give myself time to mentally prep myself for it. But I mean, I never did it, so I didn't know what to expect or how to prep myself. But
like, I feel like there was so much going on in that time frame. Like, we moved across country. Last minute we dropped everything and we moved cross country. We had all this stuff going. Like, it was a super stressful time, and you were not in a good headspace. I remember you were like so skinny and old looking.
Yeah,
we look back at photos. We're like, oh my god, you did not look well. Like, mentally, both of us were like all over the place, and then to be just thrown into all this stuff. So,
well, is that a sign again?
I guess. Yes.
Stop leaving me out.
Is this a good one to wrap it up on?
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah. Yeah, we're at an hour.
We are.
Yeah.
That was a quick hour.
We just that last part. We just went on our own conversation, which is cool. That's what makes it.
I'm sorry if I'm sorry if that was like that last part of me rambling was just like repetitive and annoying.
I just started to wonder, like, did they want to know it? Did they want to know? Like, I love sharing those details, but then they didn't ask for them, you know. But we haven't done enough for them to think about X Games, and so maybe this will spark another conversation, or. Because I do want to circle back to that in a different way, you know, now that
like
we got more subscribers. I would like to go over that footage again and really kind of break down that as like kind of an event review.
It was fun though, like the whole experience was so fun. And like, so it was in Minneapolis and my parents are in Canada, and then my dad ended up coming to Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And so my dad got to come and watch, and that was really cool. And then like, when we would just ride bikes around Minneapolis, like my dad had one of your bikes. And he had two BMX bikes, and my dad was riding one, and he was riding one, and I was on the handlebars, just exploring.
I remember all the stress going into that. My dad, that's the one thing I wish I would have just told my dad to come, you know, because I knew it was going to be expensive. I didn't want to put that burden on him. But once I was there, I mean, I loved having your dad there too, but it definitely made me miss having my dad. Like, man, I didn't like look at that event and X Games is so big and it was like such an achievement. I'm finally doing it. But when I was at home prepping for it, I looked at it like I'm just getting ready for this event. And when my dad wanted to come, I'm just like, I don't know, I think I'm gonna be so focused. I didn't want him to spend all this money and we not get hangout time, you know. But
did he ask
once
to come?
and he said, do you want me to come? As it was if I needed help for flat track and stuff. But just me being me, I just thought like, oh, that's an expense that does he really need to spend it? But once I was there, it was like, I mean, it was priceless to have that experience.
Yeah.
And I do wish he was there to do it, because it was cool doing it with your dad. And I was like, damn, I wish both our dads were there for the Harley side more, you know, and doing two different events. But I was so focused on just me riding my bicycle, you know. That's one regret, but you know, maybe we'll get that chance again. I don't know. Who knows? But
I don't think so. I feel like you're just like, I did it and I'm done.
Yeah, you're right. The only regret is giving a good crack at, like, giving a good preparation, a good time for a good chance at a medal.
It would be different now. I think if it happened during these circumstances right now, it would be different. But the circumstances that we were in at the time, it was like just it was probably one of the stressful moments of our entire lives. Yeah.
And you know, the goal was after 19, the goal was to train and get back in there for 2020 X Games. And I had a year to prep. I had the yard going, and that was the main focus. And like, drove to California to do the Anaheim contest, and I was going back to X Games in 2020. Then obviously COVID happened and it got canceled, and then that's just how the cards played out. It wasn't meant to be. So
it's one of those things though, where like everything just always works out how it should.
So yeah, but yeah, it was a good experience. But on that note, we'll wrap this up. That was fun. We always talk about doing one of these. We talk about it, never actually do it. Yeah, we just ramble once we get going.
So if you made it this far,
yeah, if you made it this far, yeah, thank you. And let us know what you think. Because we would actually love to do more of these. It's like kind of podcasty, you know, but I don't really want to go through the setup of a podcast. And like around this time, I like to talk.
Around this time, it's like she's chilling, we're just driving, we just talk anyway. So
especially in the van, but this needs to be like an in the van thing, you know. We just chat in the van. You guys send the questions, but
travel chats or something.
Yeah, keep it on your mind. Let me know. Let us know if you want to see more of this. Because
you did get a lot of questions of like, when are you gonna do the crash reviews again?
I just haven't had time. We're gonna do the crash reviews again, but it's just time.
We've much content.
We've been so pinned lately. I'm like 4 videos behind. I need to edit. And it's hard. It's been hard. Like, doing a 1 video a week isn't that bad if my week is pretty free, but we've been so busy lately. But
yeah,
it's been cool. So yeah, again, if you made it this far, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked it. And until next time, we'll I guess we're gonna keep these going. So we're gonna find a way to see you next week. So until then, peace.